And hello and welcome inside another episode of the Sherwood Park Crusaders pregame show. My name is Zach Marks, bringing you this one from the Randy Rosen rink on a beautiful Sunday morning, where in just a few hours' time, the Sherwood Park Crusaders will play host to the Camrose Kodiaks. Now, Sherwood Park enters today's matchup with a record of 18-14, 3-1, good enough for 5th place in the North Division, trailing the Fort McMurray Oil Barons by just a point. And with the Oil Barons stagnant here this afternoon, a win by Sherwood Park will put them into 4th place in the North Division, heading into the back 20 games of this regular season. Meanwhile, the Camrose Kodiaks enter with a record of 17-22-0, good enough for 6th place in the South Division. They're just 2 points back of the Canmore Eagles for 5th place, and with a win this afternoon, they will go into joint 5th place with the Eagles in the South Division. Now, Camrose is coming off a big 3-0 win over the Fort McMurray Oil Barons last night in Fort McMurray. Their second game in 3 nights. They'll play their third in 4 days here this afternoon, as they've started off the new year on a bit of a winning streak. 2 out of their first 3 games, including back-to-back wins, an 8-5 over Canmore back on Thursday, and then last night's 3-0 win over the Oil Barons after a winless December. Signs of a bit of a turn for the Camrose Kodiaks presenting it, and we'll see if they can carry that momentum into today's afternoon fixture. Meanwhile, Sherwood Park, they've dropped 2 out of 3 to start the year, losing 1-0 in Blackfalds on Tuesday and a 3-0 loss last night against the White Court Wolverines. Sandwiched in between the 2 losses, a 5-0 win back on Wednesday against the Drayton Valley Thunder. Sherwood Park looking to bounce back here this afternoon as they'll continue to hunt down the top half of the North Division. Now, let's head to the pregame interviews with head coach Evan McFeeters on how he feels his team played last night and what he's expecting out of the Camrose Kodiaks here this afternoon. Joined now on the Crusaders pregame show by head coach Evan McFeeters. Evan, a 3-0 loss to the White Court Wolverines last night. Walk me through your team's performance from your point of view.
Yeah, I thought our guys had it was a gritty performance last night, but they got behind their defense a few times. They had a couple good looks. They were able to score 1 5-on-5 earlier in the game. Turned out to be the game-winning goal, and then they got one on the power play, and our power play didn't connect last night. So that was the difference. I mean, the games are going to be tight checking, and they're going to be close here at division rivals down the stretch, and it's one of those games where our compete was there, our battle level was there, but we didn't score enough to win a hockey game, and it's just not good enough to at this time of the year. If we want to get 2 points against some good teams, we need to make sure that we can capitalize on our opportunities. Our power play needs to outscore their power play. Our goaltending's got to match at minimum the other opposition's goaltender, and then we have to understand, like, it could be any moment of the game could be the difference, whether it's the opening face-off or the first shot of the game, whatever it is. Our guys have to be ready and have that desperation to defend and desperation to challenge the other team and then score some goals here when we need them.
Looking ahead to today's matchup against the Camrose Kodiaks, first time Camrose has been in town since pre-pandemic. What should the fans expect out of Camrose here tonight?
Well, I wasn't here pre-pandemic either, so they're a good hockey club. They're in a little bit of a tough stretch going into the Christmas break. They made some, I guess, adjustments to their roster. They brought in a legitimate starting goalie. Got a shutout last night in Fort McMurray. They had to ride the bus like we've had to ride the bus in November, so I think advantage us to start the game, but if we don't take advantage of that right away, then it's going to be a typical AJHL game in January here where teams are fighting tooth and nail for playoff positions. So I expect good goaltending from them. Their coach is going to have them well prepared, and for us, it's hitting the reset button from last night, take the good from last night, and just understanding how important each play of the game is. And I think for tonight, we need to get back in the win column here.
You mentioned the acquisition of goaltender Freddie Halleck for Camrose, a goaltender you know fairly well from his time in Lloydminster this season. Does that add any advantage for Sherwood Park?
I don't think there's any advantage or disadvantage to anybody. I think he's just an established goaltender. They had some goaltending, I guess, inconsistency over there, however you want to call it, with their hockey club. They made a decision to pick up someone new. Halleck was their guy. It doesn't change anything that we do. We just adjust our pre-scout from the previous guy to this guy, and now we got to find the holes on him.
You add Luke Lisko back to the roster here tonight. What does he add to the group?
Stability, I would say first and foremost, up the middle of the ice. A little bit of reliability in our own zone, some consistent efforts. Good shot. We got 10 goals this year. I mean, that's probably the third in our roster right now for goals. So I think he's just going to add a little bit more depth, but some certainly reliability in the middle of the ice.
All right, thanks for this, Coach. Good luck today.
Thanks, Zach.
And that'll do it for another episode of the Sherwood Park Crusaders pregame show. Puck drop is 2 p.m. right here at the Randy Rosen rink. Tickets are available at tickets.sherwoodparkcrusaders.ca or at the door when you get here. If you can't make it out, I will have the call on Hockey TV starting about 1:55 local time. For all of us in the Crusaders organization, we appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you at Puck Drop.